Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be all about what to pack on a road trip with a toddler, much less two toddlers like we just did. My name is Michelle and I make videos all about toddler tips, so if that's something that you're interested in, make sure you click the subscribe button below. Over the last 7 days, we spent 7+ hours in the car driving from Houston, which is where we're from, to Disney World. On the way there, we decided to stop in Destin to have a beach day before we made the rest of the drive over to Orlando. And on the way back, we drove to Pensacola, where we stayed the night before heading back home. So 4 travel days out of our 7-day trip, and it was quite an experience. The reason why I'm filming this video after we've already completed our road trip is so that I can give you ideas on what we actually used, so that way you don't overpack. And we actually had to stop a few times on the way there because there were things that we needed that I didn't even know we needed. Let me go ahead and show you what we brought and what we used and definitely needed. The most obvious thing you will need for your trip are clothes and toiletries. I like to lay out all the girls' clothes and pack them a few days in advance, so it's one less thing that I have to worry about the night before. I got most of their cute Disney outfits from Etsy, which is my favorite place to find cute outfits. I'll link them in the description box below. One thing that I find handy is to put a sticky note on the suitcase of all the things I need to pack the night before, just in case there are still a few last-minute items in the wash.
I wanna do it all with you by my side. If you're in, meet me here tonight. Be brave and come along, I'll be your ride.
I lay out the pajamas and shoes and make sure I have one set for each night before closing it up.
Say yes, choose to do whatever comes next.
This trip, I was able to pack all of their clothes into just one suitcase.
Tuesday night, I'm drinking while I'm by an open fire. Make love or fight, this or that. This or that, evenings on the train or catch a morning flight.
So the next thing, and probably the most important thing, is the snack bag. So let me show you what we brought and what we ate on our trip. Vanilla wafers are always a must. They're like cookies and the girls just love them. Can't go wrong with fruit snacks, a plus if you get the frozen kind. Fig bars are good and easy. They're soft, so for my 14-month-old, it's easy because I need to find foods that are easier that she won't choke on, and I don't have to worry about it, and I can just pop it open and hand it to her, and she'll eat it. Next thing are raisins. So my girls ate these throughout the entire trip, and I get the regular raisins as well as the yogurt covered raisins as for a little treat. Next, you can't go wrong with pouches. These pouches, ones I just get from Target. They are the different flavored applesauce ones. I like to get the ones that have veggies in them as well because we don't eat a lot of veggies in the car. It's not that simple. So I like to buy stuff that has veggies in it. That way they can get their fruits and veggies in even on a long car ride. Next thing are these little crunchers. They're great for Savannah. For my 14-month-old, I just put them in her little cup and she munches on these and they make a great snack. Next are the rice cake snack bags. They're better than chips, so they're better for you than chips. So I give them to Sailor and we snack on them as well. They come in these little packages with different flavors, so just another alternative to chips. And they're quick and easy. We also get some more toddler snacks. These yogurt bites are great for in the morning. The girls will eat some along with their breakfast. Animal cracker cookies just as a little snack. Since we are usually still traveling during lunchtime, I get lots and lots of Lunchables because especially for Sailor, these are quick and easy. The last thing that was a lifesaver were these milk cartons. I got the chocolate milk one at Target. They actually didn't have the whole milk. So in the mornings, the girls will usually drink milk. So we just bring these and we don't have to worry about stopping and getting the girls milk. And we just pack several of these in the cooler and it is so quick and easy and just dump them whenever they're done with them. One thing I forgot, you can't go wrong with a gallon of goldfish. Always comes in as a lifesaver. So that's our snack bag. We like to pack it in this big bag along with all of our extras. So head over with me so I can show you all of the extra stuff that we bring on our road trip. So now I'm in the girls' playroom and I'm gonna show you all of the different toys that we brought to keep them entertained during the car ride. First and foremost is the iPad or tablet, whatever your kid likes to watch movies on or play games on. Sometimes this tends to make my daughter sick, get car sick, so we tried to limit it as much as possible, but as a last resort, we did allow my 3-year-old to play her games and use her tablet. Another thing we brought for our 3-year-old was new coloring books. So at one point she was having a meltdown and I brought out a brand new coloring book with new colors and her very favorite Blippi. It consumed almost an hour of the drive by her just coloring with her new book. You know how sometimes kids don't want things that they already have, but if it's a new shiny toy, then it seems to catch their attention. So this is something that I also highly recommend and really worked well for our road trip. I also brought her crowns and put them in a little baggie because sometimes when I actually bring the crown box, she tends to dump them over or has trouble trying to get the crown in the exact spot. So just bringing a few crowns and putting them in a little Ziploc baggie was really helpful. Next, to entertain my 14-month-old, I brought a few things that she used. She's into trying to hold a pen right now, so this little tablet she could draw on and it kept her entertained for just a little bit. I brought for my 14-month-old was this, it's like a Crayola paint set where she can just run her fingers through or make different designs with it. It's kind of cool and not make a mess, which is always a plus. The next thing that I brought for her were some activity books that made noise. So if she was crying or upset, I would give her a little activity book and she would play with it for a little bit, listen to the music, and throw it on the floor. But it did keep her entertained for a little bit at a time. Last thing that we brought, which was also a plus for my other daughter, is this Baby Shark book. For some reason, my kids are obsessed with Baby Shark, and this book, you can actually press the button and it plays different Baby Shark songs. So it helped actually calm her down a little bit and she would open the book and then play another song. And it kept her entertained for a little bit at a time. So that was all of the toys that we brought. I tried to keep it minimal because I just didn't want a whole bunch of junk in the car. And with the things we brought, the girls actually did very well. The one thing that I recommend that made the trip a game changer was leaving really early in the morning. The very first day, we actually left around between 3:30 and 4 in the morning, and it made the biggest difference. That was our longest drive. It ended up being almost 10 hours, and having them sleep for a good 4 hours in the morning helped make the ride not as unbearable. Usually by the end of the drive, they would get really annoyed and ready to get out. So we decided that each morning we would leave between 4 and 5 in the morning, and that was game changer for our whole trip. So if you don't want to drive through the night, got up really early in the morning, and that way we got a good chunk of time where they were both sleeping at a time. Lastly, the extra items that you need so that you can make your road trip less stressful. So definitely a must-have is your first aid kit. So I usually pack our first aid kit with some extra band-aids, some Neosporin in case they get a cut or a scrape, definitely some children's Motrin, and depending on the age of your child, infant Motrin as well, and also some Tylenol and Zyrtec. I use Zyrtec in case they get a runny nose from allergies, and also some extra syringes in case needed. Luckily this trip we didn't have to use any of our first aid kit, but there have been times that we've went on road trips, we have to stop somewhere to get something, which is actually what happened to us. So the next thing I recommend packing is kids Dramamine. So they're able to take this Dramamine if they're 2 years or older, and they would take 1 tablet every 6 to 8 hours. So on the way there, our oldest daughter, our almost 3-year-old, gets really car sick. She threw up every single day in the car. So on the way there, after she had thrown up on herself, we had to stop at a Walmart and find this kid's Dramamine, which I didn't even know that we would need, and get her some right away. It wasn't until the last day, right before we left at 5 o'clock in the morning, I was shoving Dramamine down her throat so that she would get it in time so she wouldn't throw up in the car. So this was a lifesaver for us. So it's always good to have just in case, even if your kid doesn't get car sick, it's just something good to keep around just in case. The next thing I recommend bringing is some of these boogie wipes in case your kid, I don't know about you, but my kids always have runny noses, and when I use paper towels or whatever we have in the car, it tends to irritate their nose, just like whenever we would get a runny nose. So I always just keep boogie wipes because it's a lot softer and it helps not irritate their nose and make their nose so red. What they look like, I usually just get them at Target or any grocery store. The next thing I recommend, if you have a TV in your car where you can play DVDs, is to load up on DVD movies. Or if you can connect, if you have Disney Plus and you can connect your USB cord, then I highly recommend doing that. I do give Sailor, my 3-year-old, her iPad sometimes, or her tablet, but sometimes that makes the car sick worse. So we actually have a fold-out TV in the back of our car. So we actually use these movies first before giving her an iPad so that it helps with her car sickness. This one may seem like obvious, but extra wipes. I brought 2-pack of wipes, and we actually had to stop on the store and get more wipes and more paper towels. And that is highly due to the fact that my kids threw up in the car everywhere. So multiple times. So we used a lot of paper towels and a lot of wipes because the car just ends up being a complete disaster when you're in there for 4 days, and it just helps to have something to clean up as best as you can. This one is another obvious one. Make sure that you bring their little stuffed animals or blankets or pillows or anything special to them, because it just helps them sleep better and feel a little bit more comfortable with their own items. Another thing that we found really useful was these disposable masks. We have the cute little pretty masks that we bring that I have for Sailor, but these disposable masks are easy because when it gets really hot, you can just toss them and you don't have to worry about washing your mask. So if you go into a gas station or something, you can just throw one on, and then when you're done, you just toss it, and you don't have access to a washing machine right then I just find that they're the most breathable. They may not be the cutest, but they're the easiest to use and the easiest to just grab and go, especially on a long car ride. Another must-have is hand sanitizer. If you have to stop at a gas station or stop anywhere, then just make sure that you carry some extra hand sanitizer. And the very last thing that I bought, very last minute, and I actually didn't even use it until the last day, was this Toddler potty. And basically it's a portable potty, and it opens up like this. So, and it comes with bags, and these bags actually have little padding in them. So all you have to do is stick the bag in the potty seat and wrap it around like this. And on the last day, we were actually stuck in traffic in Louisiana at almost a standstill, and Sailor had to go number 2 potty. And thank God we had this potty with us, because we ended up being in traffic for over an hour, so we wouldn't have gotten to a place to use the restroom for that long. So we were already pretty much stopped. So I moved some of the bags and I put this down in the car and then just let her sit in this and do her business. And then we were able to just wrap it up and then wrap everything in a plastic bag and toss it once we got out of the car. So this was really cool. I have seen people bring their bigger potties. Let me show you that, for example. This is the bigger potty that I'm talking about. That is a toddler potty that we have. But I thought about bringing this, but it's just, even though it's small, it takes up so much space in the car. And with all the stuff that we had, it was so much easier to get that foldable potty and just use it whenever we needed. So that's all the things that we brought on our road trip. I hope that you found this video helpful for your next road trip. If you're interested in seeing what we did at Disney World, make sure you stick around for my next video and don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.